Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express, the important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 26th of May. The first important news, that is all-in-one policy plan to spread the insurance sector in India. The details coming out from the IRDA that will be coming up with the regulation on the part of the insurance sectors. Second, a new committee to keep a watch on cheetah project. We have come across the news where cheetahs are dying, the newly introduced cheetah in the Kuno National Park. Third, energy security, biggest worry for the sustaining growth. This is what the chief economic advisor has said. Center anticipate the highest growth in the food, grain and oilseed harvest. And the last is an editorial and ordinance, its constitutionality and the scrutiny part. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And before I begin this session, I'm delighted to share the information that Apti Plus parents that who have enrolled in the Apti Plus classroom program or in the interview program have bagged the seat in CSE 2022. So in top 10 we have top 4 students, rank 2, rank 4, rank 8 and rank 9. So in total, this time Apti Plus had made success again with 150 plus more selection in UPSC CSE 2022. Right? So do check it out. You can check our website for more details and other courses related informations. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. So starting the session of the first news, that is all-in-one policy plan to spread the insurance sector in India. Something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So in order to ensure that the part of the insurance penetration is increasing in the country and to expand it, the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, that is IRDA, this is a nodal body taking care for the part of entire regulation when it comes to insurance sector. And IRDA is coming and planning a new affordable insurance product to give citizen protections against the multiple risks, seeking to expedite the claim settlement and even linking the death registration in common industries platform. Now IRDA is devising an affordable product covering health, life, property, accidental risk, and to give citizen protection to expedite the claim settlement by linking death registration onto the one platform, that is for the something that will be giving you the entire part of benefit in the insurance sectors. Now there's Bima Sugam platform that was already something conceptualized by RDA. So this platform will integrate the insurance and distributor into one platform, and one-stop solutions will be there for customers who at the later stage can pursue service request and settlement claim through the same portal. So Bima Sugam is expected to assure the greater simplicity, security, transparency, and it will trigger the innovations by playing the playing field for all the players who are the part of the insurance sector, right? Now it is expected that the insurance what UPI has done for the part of the payment that is going. So we have seen that the UPI had come as a boom for the part of the payment system. So the same can be done in the insurance sector via Bima Sugam platform. Now amendment to attract investment, basically IRDA ने कुछ important overall किए हैं, that is with regards to the legislative amendment, and this part of the amendment will call for more investment in the differential sector of the insurance, and even something that players will be back similar to the banking sector with an eye on the insurance sector. The availability and affordability and accessibility are something which is the main criteria which was set by the IRDA to ensure that the part of the investment that is there in the sector, and definitely it will help the part of the Gram Panchayat district to state level approach. So this will call for a bottom up approach where the district level, state level, and then the part of the central part will be taken into as no, the implementation will be accordingly in this hierarchy. The amendment will enable the entry of new players into the form of micro and regional small captive players, specialized players, and composite license. Now, what is a roadmap that was set by the IRDA and even what IRDA is planning? So, it provides the insurance covered to all by 2047. This is what the IRDA is planning. And the state level insurance committee with a similar prevalent of banking sector to rope then state insurance and to formulate the district level plan. He said the confederations of the Indian industries will be taken into considerations. Now, cover drive, this is something what we have discussed. You can just read out through with this content. There are complete details about the Bima Sugam and all other details that we have discussed. This is for your revision purposes that will help you. Now, moving to the other news. New committee to keep watch on cheetah project, something important for general studies paper 3, that is conservation, environmental pollutions, degradation, and EIA. So, following the death of 3 cheetahs in the week, the National Tiger Conservation Authority, better known as NTCA, has recently appointed a new steering committee comprises of national and international experts to oversee the implementation of the project cheetah. We know that the cheetah were reintroduced from South Africa, right, to the Kuno National Park, and 3 cheetahs' death has again raised the concern. The first death was reported on March 27. The name of the cheetah was Shasa, and the reason for the death was kidney ailment. Second was Uday on April 23, that is for the cardiopulmonary failures. And third death that was reported recently on May 9th, that is for Daksha, that is injury from a violent interaction. So these are some of the part of the reason that was reported. And 3 cubs born to Cholas May 23, weakness and extreme weather. So these are some of the main reason, and definitely this is really disappointing where government is looking forward to increase the part of the total population, but the success rate is not that high. Now, the steering committee comprises of 11 members. So there can be a question like whether the committee has been formed or not, and how the NTC is looking forward to augment the overall plan. Now, the task of the committee is tasked to review the progress of cheetah brought from Namibia and South Africa, and will be tasked for 2 years to hold at least 1 meeting every month, beside taking the field visit whenever required. So the committee is not something that will be only making the policy, they will be also having the field visit, right? So field visit is something that is very important. Now, the committee will also take decision with the opening of cheetah's habitat for ecotourism that will suggest regulations in this regard. The committee will also be empowered to invite wildlife experts for consultations. And the committee will be in force for 2 years and will convene at a meeting every month. Bodies that will be conducting the field visit in the Kuno National Park. So the entire structure has been given, the mandate has been given to the committee. Now, project for reintroducing cheetahs. I guess most of you must be aware of this news that the Union Government ambition project to reintroduce cheetahs was taken. This is considered to be the new part of the reintroduction which took place after 7 decades. And after that, the Prime Minister has actually introduced 8 Namibia's cheetahs on his birthday, that is the 2072 birthday of the Prime Minister, 17th of September 2022. And on the same day, Prime Minister released these 8 Namibia's cheetahs in the Kuno National Park in the Seypur district. Now, a few months later, 12 more cheetahs were introduced in the same national park. Now, moving to the other news, energy security, biggest worry in the sustaining growth, something important for general studies paper 2. That is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementation. This news is also important for general studies paper 3, where energy security is specifically mentioned in your syllabus. Now, the chief economic advisor of Government of India was actually addressing the Confederation of Indian Industries meeting, and he said that the issues of energy security is among the biggest worry in sustaining the high economic growth witnessed in the last 2 years. Just to tell you that we have just recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic, and the sectors are performing well, but to a larger extent, the small and marginalized factories has not taken the pace yet. Now, the chief economic advisor said that the target to balance the proportion of non-fossil fuel and fossil fuels in the mix of energy terms to be installed capacity and air. He said that there are signs of private investment picking up, and the sectors of the steel, cement, and even to the greenfield investment that will take place. That is the only solution way out. We need to ensure that the energy security is put in place. Now, issues of funding. The chief economic advisor has stressed the importance continued funding for fossil fuel and even India move towards a better balance of renewable energy mix. He said that the financial institution should overall see the environmental cost and evaluate the part of green project. जहाँ पे they should be aware of greenwashing and the project pays off actual with the damaging of the environment should be taken into consideration. Now, the finance sector must make the investment on the digital transformation not only for the financial inclusion but also credit and the credit judgment. The credit assessment and credit judgment should also be an important component when it comes to the part of investment in the sectors. Now, need for privatizations. Definitely, the chief economic advisor said that under privatization, both the private sectors and the monetizations is an important component to unlock the part of asset efficiencies. And there's a need to keep momentum for privatization, which was critical. See, funding is again a very important issue when it comes to clean energy because most of the countries are reluctant because of the heavy cost that is involved. So we added that the public sector bank being capitalized in the good shape, and here is the time that we need to give more valuable part which is there, and assets stress sector that should also be something that should be highlighted, and priority should be given to the priority sector mechanism where the private sector and the framework should be provided for the better outcome, right? Now, on the capital outflow, the investment to the various sector, this is expected that 66 billion grossed in first 11 months, that is for financial year 2023, to 84 billion in 2022. That is a rising interest rate and the geopolitical uncertainty was not a bad performance. So overall, the things has bit in the control for India, but definitely there are a lot of other tweaks and augmentation that is required to improve the part of privatization, the private part of participation which is required, and government need to ensure that the energy security is put in high priority. Now, moving to the other news, Center anticipate record food, grain and oilseed harvest, something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies, minimum support price, public distribution system, agriculture, and all other part of the productions in the agriculture sectors. Now, according to the report that was there by the Ministry of Agriculture, it said that this was a report for the third advanced estimate on the productions of major crop, which said that there will be a record paddy, wheat, maize, soybean, rapeseed, and mustard and sugarcane production in the country for this year. The food grain productions is something which is ending June, likely to hit all-time high record, like from 330 million. This is anticipated for 330. Last year it was 315.6 million ton. Now, this is mainly due to the estimate record productions of wheat, rice, and maize. And also, despite the hot February and season rain, the harvesting for the March and early April is something which is appreciable. Estimates of the productions of the major crops की अगर बात करें, productions of maize in the country is projected to be around 35.9 million metric ton. This is a million ton, and 2.2 higher than the previous one. In addition, the food grain, that is ministry and the total oilseed productions की अगर बात करें, it says that 40.9 is something that is anticipated, and output for sugarcane is again a boom for the country. Productions is estimated to be grow by 494, right, from earlier 439. And among the food grains, center expects that the rice is again on the higher side, wheat, bajra, and coarse grain. These are the number, these are the data. The data is not important for you, just you need to know the trend, how it is actually performing. The total productions of the cotton is again estimated to be around 343.47 bales of 170 kg each, and jute and mista is something 94.94. So these are the part of the details and estimates for the major crop productions in the country. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, an ordinance, its constitutionality and the part of scrutiny. Something important for general studies paper 2, that is structure, organization and function of judiciary. And even you can relate this news with the topic of general studies where functions and even the structure for the federalism is concerned, cooperative federalism is concerned. These are some of the important topics from where this article is relevant. Now, what I'll be discussing under this editorial, the Supreme Court verdict on the National Capital Territory of Delhi, better known as NCTD, and the ordinance that was issued by the President of India. Right, we'll see the details. The key issue that I'll be addressing is the observation by the Supreme Court, some key issues, alternations need of an amendment, why there was required, and a perspective of the way forward. So recently on May 19th, we have come across that the President of India has exercised a power of Article 123, which called for the ordinance making power of the President. And ordinance was made. Why? Because the Parliament is not in session. When Parliament is not in session, there's a power with the President that he or she can make an ordinance, issue an ordinance, right? So this ordinance, the title of the ordinance is the Government of National Capital of Delhi Ordinance 2023, and the ordinance negate the Supreme Court constitutionality bench की जो judgment थी. This was a constitutional bench of the Supreme Court where 5 judges, including the CGI, headed this bench, and they have come across the unanimity in terms of giving services to the Delhi government of Delhi, right? तो एक unanimously decide किया गया था कि जो Delhi government है उसके पास सर्विस सेक्टर्स, सर्विस कि जो रेगुलेशंस है, जो सर्विस की एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, वो दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के पास होनी चाहिए. दैट इज विद द नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी ऑफ दिल्ली. सो I have already made a discussion when the judgment was there by the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, this article stipulates the part of ordinance making power and how the things that is linking to the constitutional values. Now, what was the observation that was made by the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court has held that the National Capital Territory of Delhi, that is NCTD, is a legislative power and executive power, which is for the administration, and the national capital should do everything with regard to the services except the matter related to public order, police and land, which is something which is not under the ambit of the state government, right? And the lieutenant governor shall be bound by the decision of the Delhi government over services apart from the public order, police and land. Now, some key issues. There are key issues that is evolved in this, and even this is important for mains examination, right? As a part of the mains, there can be a direct question about 239AA. Make sure you know all about this. Now, the two issues that is involved, first is the court verdict, and other is the constitutionality of the ordinance. Now, looking into the part of the verdict, Supreme Court ने अपने जजमेंट में कहा इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ आर्टिकल 239AA की इंटरप्रिटेशन की गई है, और कोर्ट ने कहा कि जो लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली के मैटर हैं, खास करके नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी ऑफ दिल्ली को लेकर के, तो जो कॉम्पिटेंस हैं लिस्ट 2 और लिस्ट 3 को लेकर के वो एक्सप्रेस की गई है. एंड इवन फॉर द लिस्ट 2 एंट्रीज 1, 2, 18 आर एक्सक्लूडेड, दैट इज लैंड, पुलिस एंड पब्लिक ऑर्डर. Now, the executive power of NCT is coexistence with the legislative power, and that shall be extended to the government of the day, who is in power, who has been unanimously elected by the people of the state. Now, the union government has the exclusive power only on the 3 list, on the list 2 that is there, and the part which is excluded from the government of Delhi is entries 1, 2 and 18. So, ये ऑब्जर्वेशंस थी सुप्रीम कोर्ट की, जो कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच 5 बेंच जज ने एक्चुअली ऑब्जर्व किया और जजमेंट दिया था. Now, alterations needed with the amendment part, basically the power which is conferred to the parliament under Article 239A to make a law supplementing provisions with a clause of 239AA relate to the incidental and consequential thereof. Such power cannot be pressed into actions with the amendment article. And significantly, अगर बात करें पार्लियामेंट की पावर की, that has been deemed in the constitution with regard to article 368, कुछ exceptions और कुछ judgment भी हैं जो कि इस ordinance को negate करेगी आने वाले टाइम में अगर ये challenge की जाती है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में. Consequently, the ordinance promulgating under article 123 of the constitution expand the scope with the matter which consider article 239 is a void, But again, this is something which has to be passed only by the parliament. I'll tell you what in the conclusion part. Now, agar perspective ki baat kare, the conclusion part, the union government decision to prefer the purview of Article 137 and review it. The promulgation of an ordinance under Article 123, which is a power with the president, it is an ill-convinced. Definitely, the judiciary fraternity feel that this is something which will be negated by the Honorable Supreme Court. And definitely, if it is challenged, the union government is likely to face a fall. Now, there's a judgment by the Supreme Court in the Krishna Kumar Singh versus Union of Bihar, where Supreme Court has said that the satisfactions of the president under Article 123 is not immune from judicial scrutiny. So definitely there will be a scrutiny, and this will be something that will be taken into consideration, where an independent legislative authority will take a call what to do and what to not, because a judgment was actually given by the constitutional bench of the Supreme Court. Now, the ordinance is likely to struck down as it expands the matter under Article 239AA, and Parliament alone can do this under Article 368, right? So ये power Parliament के पास है, जहाँ पे basically लोकसभा और राज्यसभा दोनों की majority होनी चाहिए to pass a bill, then only it can become a law. Only an ordinance will definitely not do it. For you, the question will be about Article 239A. 239 के बारे में आप देख लें, and even how the power of ordinance is being misused in the recent time. इस तरह के कुछ analytical सवाल भी आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं. So make sure you are thorough with the entire part, or कुछ conceptual part you can also read from the basics book. Now, moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is D. For second question, the correct option is A. Today's MCQ for practice, that is antimicrobial resistance. It occurs when bacteria, virus, fungi, parasite changes over and no longer respond to machine. As a result, the drug resistant, antimicrobial and medicine are becoming ineffective. So do check out for the correct option. Now, the second question of the day, that is leaves of turtle. Consider the following statement. The freshwater of lead turtle is endemic to peninsular India. It is classified as an endangered by IUC, right? So do check out for the correct option. Practicing a lot more question will give you an edge over the prelims examination, and this is a key that you should do. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.